Lesson 17. Building my vocabulary. Words are only 7% of a communication. Words are the foundation for the 38% of how I say it. The way I use words to facilitate listening and learning. Words are the tools of my trade. Clarity is achieved by stating just the facts. Repetition is valid to reinforce a message. By repeating important references during my presentation, I am reminding the audience of key points. Onomatopoeia and alliteration can create added value to hold audience interest. I use language that is appropriate for my audience, speaking at their level of understanding with respect. I can demonstrate conviction, desire, or passion when and where it is appropriate. Passion is transmitted by the commitment to what I am saying. The listener will hear the sincerity and conviction of the message. The term diction, for our purposes, refers to the ability to use words or the art of selecting the right word for the intended meaning. If we say a person's diction is good, we mean he expresses well in speech. The key to good diction is a broad and rich vocabulary. A child of 10 adds about 5,000 words a year to their growing vocabulary. The average adult adds 50. The average college sophomore has a vocabulary of about 200,000 words. I must work constantly at improving and increasing vocabulary. Words are the tools of my profession, and my ability to use them is absolutely vital to success. In building my vocabulary, remember that the simple words are usually the most powerful. I build a stockpile of words that are short, full of meaning, and are pleasing to the ear. Some words sound better than others when they're spoken. When building my vocabulary, I select words that appeal to the ear. One of the most obvious ways to improve my vocabulary is to circle unfamiliar words that I run across in books, newspapers, and magazines. Check their meanings and pronunciations. Write them in a notebook until they are committed to memory. Study the roots and histories of words. Knowing the meanings of words is a start. I make word power part of my everyday vocabulary exercises. I will learn and use them. When I learn a new word, I implement it in my conversations, in my announcing, and also in my writing. I develop a planned program of reading. I read a book, daily newspaper, read a broad cross-section of magazines. I work on increasing my stock of synonyms, those words with similar meanings. As I gain facility with words, I will notice people begin to listen attentively to what I say. Communication with others will improve poise and self-confidence will grow. I always choose the right word to convey the intended meaning. What is the difference in meaning between abbreviate and abridge? Is a person absolved from guilt or absolved of guilt? In the pronunciation of words, are we usually guided by general acceptance or general acceptation? Abbreviate means to shorten or contract. To abridge is to condense without losing the sense of the original. I abbreviate the name of New York with capital N period, capital wide period. I abridge or condense a book or lecture by leaving out some of the content without losing the original sense. Acceptance means the act of taking or receiving. When I refer to the correct pronunciation of a word, I would say, according to general acceptance, when something is apparent, we mean it appears to be. When it is evident, I mean it is clear to the understanding. Vocation means our regular employment. An avocation is an activity away from regular work. The word acme means the highest point. Epitome means the essence of something, or a typical example. When I say something is usual, we mean it's customary. Frequent means often. When a person is disinterested, they are impartial. If uninterested, they are bored. An author or speaker implies or expresses a meaning indirectly. A person who reads or hears the author's work infers or deduces a meaning from the words. Perhaps the most important thing of all about my vocabulary is the fact that it is compared to my IQ level. Researchers made the discovery long ago that vocabulary and intelligence are intimately related. Summary: I take time to practice all I have learned. A routine of practice will produce richness in tone and inflection, with a more effective presentation and conversation, and with phrasing and pause for emphasis. Articulation will allow the audience to appreciate every word. I remember to warm up the vocal cords. I practice deep breathing to relax the muscles, and use the muscle exercises to relax the shoulders, neck, and face. I actively practice body language to produce a confident opening, entrance, presentation, and finale. Now I have the tools necessary. I use them to get employment, present to a group, tell my story, or motivate an audience. I practice to present with confidence. Rehearse, rehearse, and rehearse. Live, love, laugh, and learn each day in the best way. Now I say what I mean and mean what I say. Inflection exercise. Practice each read as I imagine. A, on my way to my wedding. B, on the way to my trial to hear the verdict. C, returning to my hometown after many years away for the reading of the will after the funeral of my parents. I remember this road. After all, I had grown up on it. I knew every bump and curve along this winding road. I never expected to come back here under these circumstances. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined I would be in this situation. So many questions are rushing through my head right now. What does my future look like? What will happen in the next year or the next 5 years? How is today going to shape the effect of things to come? When will I see the home I love so much again? Suddenly all the voices in my head faded as the car reached our destination. The door opened. With every nerve in my body shaking, I opened the door, then I stepped out of the car and into my future. Resonance exercise. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay. In leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Why is it that most people's lives are controlled by small and petty circumstances? I am saddened when I see people lose the good and the great things that are within their reach, that could be theirs with a little act of courage. The self-stated mediocre person, the so-called average person, is the one I speak of here, the one who has so little self-esteem they cannot trust their own thoughts and judgments, and who, in the final analysis, must rely on outside sources for their decisions. This is the person who is ruled by the mob, or who accepts all that they read as the truth, and finally becomes like the mob. This is the person who has some degree of success only when they are caught upon the crest of a wave that was generated by one of the few exceptional self-directed individuals. This is the person who has a positive attitude for that moment they are in the presence of positive individuals, but when left alone, falls to their negative knees. This is the person who sells their birthright and the commitment to their own thoughts for fear of what they think their neighbor might think. This is the person who stands tall as they are prompted by the actions of the mob, but is terrified of the silence of their own presence. This is the person who follows and fears to lead. This is the person who hides their deeds in the cloak of nobility, since dishonesty prevents them from dealing with truth and reality. This is the person who cries foul when life has passed them by. This is the person who is ruled by circumstances. Strong people create circumstances which serve their needs and desires. If you are a person of circumstance, the cure for this disease is courage. Courage is the most beautiful of all human expressions. Courage, as I see it, is an act in the face of fear. We only need courage when we are afraid, which means that we need courage almost all of the time because we are afraid of something almost all of the time. I have discovered that fear becomes a coward when faced with a small act of courage, and also the muscle of courage will grow stronger with continued use. My advice to myself is, do those things which I fear and keep doing them until I am no longer afraid. Then I will become the master of my fate. I have studied the deeds of people both great and small. In this study there may be many differences. All the differences that count have one single thing at their base: courage. Courage is that one ingredient that separates the strong from the weak, the successful from those who try, and the great from the average. All the things I desire in life have one common handle that is made for the hand of the person of courage. To be afraid is to be alive. To act against that fear is to be a person. I believe I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I breathe. I live in this world, walking the thin line between where I am and where I want to be. The line between happiness and doubt. I live in a world with billions of souls, yet I can feel alone. Alone, regretting that I have stopped searching for other adventurous souls. Distractions overcome me and I resent them for it. Living each day the same way, I dream of dreaming again. Whose life is it I am living? Am I living the life scripted by me or my family and environment? A script secretly written by others? There is no limit to who I can be. I can be anything and everything I want to be. The desire and the love for what I really want is waiting to be discovered and then created by me. I alone can feel my desires. I am the one who really knows where I want to be. The past is complete. Each morning, new opportunities flow into my day. I am grateful for each day, each moment, and everything I love, and love will send me more. I am happy to contribute to the world. I am the maestro of my life, conducting new and beautiful symphonies every day. Persistence is the insistence to be where I really want to be. My life is determined by how I respond to circumstance. When I feel my dreams are out of breath, I breathe. I breathe from abundance. This is my life, my decision, my dream. I live now, and I breathe. There is no try, I will think, and I will do. If I think I can lose, I will lose. If I think I dare not, I will not. If I would like to win, yet I think I cannot, almost certainly I will not. I need to reach up to rise. Up is twice as far as halfway up, and all the way to the prize. I will. Starting with my positive state of mind, I think up, I grow up, I reach up, I realize. My life's challenges are achievable when I think I will and I am the best me. My masks. Don't be fooled by me, for I wear a mask. I wear 1,000 masks. Masks that I'm afraid to take off. I make them, but none of them are mine. Pretending is an art that's second nature with me, but don't be fooled. For my sake, don't be fooled. I give you the impression that I'm secure, that all is sunny and coolness is my game, that the water's calm and I'm in command, and that I need no one. But don't believe me, please don't. My surface may seem smooth, but my surface is my mask, my ever-varying and ever-concealing mask. Beneath swells the real me, in confusion, in fear, and in aloneness. But I hide this. I don't want anybody to know it. I panic at the thought of my weakness and fear being exposed. That's why I frantically create a mask to hide behind, a nonchalant, sophisticated facade to help me pretend, to shield me from your glance, a glance that knows. But such a glance is precisely my salvation, my only salvation, and I know it. But provided that glance is followed by acceptance, and then followed by love. It's the only thing that will assure me of what I can't assure myself, that I'm really worth something. But I don't tell you this. I don't dare. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid you will think less of me, that you'll laugh and your laugh would kill me. I'm afraid that deep down I'm nothing, that I'm just no good, and that you will see this and reject me. So I play my game, my desperate pretending game, with a facade of assurance on the outside and a trembling child within. And so begins the parade of masks, the glittering but empty parade of masks, and my life becomes a front. I idly chatter to you in the suave tones of surface talk. I tell you everything that's really nothing, and nothing of that which is everything, of what's crying within me. So, when I'm going through my routine, do not be fooled by what I'm saying. Please listen carefully and try to hear what I'm not saying, what I'd like to be able to say, what, for survival, I need to say, but I can't say. I dislike hiding. Honestly, I do. I dislike the superficial game I'm playing, the superficial, phony game. I'd really like to be genuine and spontaneous, and me. Help me. You've got to hold out your hand, even when that's the last thing I seem to want or need. Only you can wipe away from my eyes the blank stare of the breathing dead, Each time you're kind and gentle and encouraging. Each time you try to understand because you really care, my heart begins to grow wings. Very small wings, very feeble wings, but wings. With your sensitivity, sympathy, and your power of understanding, you can breathe life into me. I want you to know that. I want you to know how important you are to me, how you can be a creator of the person that is me, if you choose to, please choose to. You alone can break down the wall behind which I tremble. You alone can remove my mask. You alone can release me from my shadow world of panic and uncertainty, from my lonely prison. So do not pass me by. Please don't pass me by. It will not be easy for you. A lifetime of conviction to worthlessness builds strong walls. The nearer you approach to me, the blinder I may strike back. It's irrational, but despite what others say about me, I am irrational. I fight against the very thing that I cry out for. But I am told that love is stronger than strong walls, and in this lays my faith, my only faith. Please try to beat down those walls with firm hands, but with gentle hands, for a child is very sensitive, and I am a child. Who am I, you may wonder? I am someone you know very well. For I am every person you meet, and I am also you. I believe friends are allowed to change. I believe when two people argue, they can love each other. And when two people love each other, they can argue. I believe a friend is going to hurt me once in a while, and I must forgive them for that. I believe true friendship continues to grow even over the longest distance. I believe I can do something in an instant that will give me heartache for life. I believe it is taking me a long time to become the person I want to be. I believe I should always leave loved ones with loving words. It may be the last time I see them. I believe I can keep going long after I think I cannot. I believe even when I think I have no more to give, when a friend cries out to me, I will find the strength to help. I believe I am responsible for what I do and how I feel. I believe either I control my attitude or my attitude controls me. I believe heroes are the people who do what has to be done when it needs to be done, regardless of consequences. I believe money is a poor way of keeping score. I believe my best friend and I can do anything or nothing and have the best time. I believe sometimes the people I expect to kick me when I am down will be the ones to help me get back up. I believe sometimes when I am angry, I have the right to be angry. I believe it is not always enough to be forgiven by others. Sometimes I have to learn to forgive myself. I believe no matter how bad my heart is broken, the world does not stop for my grief. I believe maturity is about what types of experiences I have and what I have learned from them. I believe my background and circumstances may have influenced who I am, but I am responsible for who I become. I believe two people can look at the exact same thing and see something totally different. I believe the people I care about most in life are taken from me too soon. The happiest people make the most of anything. My greatest challenge. My greatest challenge is not that I am inadequate. My greatest challenge is that I am powerful beyond measure. It is my light, not my darkness, that most challenges me. I ask myself, who am I to be brilliant, talented, fabulous, gorgeous? Actually, who am I not to be? I am a child of God. My playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking, so that others won't fall unsure around me. I was born to make manifest the glory of God within me. It is not just in me, it is in everyone. As I let my own light shine, I unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As I am liberated from my own fear, my presence automatically liberates others.